right, so the next section for taxes is we're going to actually look at filing that 1040 form. Yay! Yay! They used to have like a 1040, a 1040 easy, a 1040A, and then all these like Schedule A, Schedule B, Schedule C. Like they had all this stuff. Last year they completely revamped it. Now we're looking at a 1040. So much easier. It doesn't exist anymore. No, the 1040 easy. Yeah, but a lot of people didn't fall underneath the 1040 easy, so then you had to do all these other things. So it's way easier now than it used to be. And it's easier for me to teach you guys because it's a lot less to go through. All right, so that's what we're going to work on, though, today and tomorrow. So first, let's kind of talk about the different tax forms. Okay? So for the first tax form is the form W-4. A W-4. This is the Employees Withholding Allowance Certificate. So this is something that you guys would have filled out when you got your job. Okay, you filled out a W-4. That is you telling the government how many people you want to be claiming so they know how much to take out for taxes. So employers withhold the deductions, and then they send the amount to the appropriate government agency. So your employer withholds taxes for you to send to the government. I mean, it sounds awful, but they're doing you a favor, so you're not paying all those taxes at the end of the year. That would be terrible. Okay, so they withhold it. Based on how you fill out that form depends on how much they withhold. Now, technically, I'm a family of 5. I could claim 5 on my form, and then they would take out a lot less taxes because, you're a bigger family, you need more of your money, so they'll take out less. Guess what happens when I do that? End of the year, I have to pay. Yeah, they've not taken out enough, and then I end up paying at the end. So I think mine's marked as 2, I think, so they take out more, so I make sure I don't have to pay anything, come April. All right, then the form W-2, this is what you get January, February-ish that they will send you as a W-2. Okay, it's a statement listing all withholding data for the year. Employers are required to provide W-2s to employees by the end of January. You must submit a copy of your W-2 when filing your taxes. Anymore, you don't really have to do a copy of them because we do most online. So if you would mail things in, then you'd have to send in a copy of it. But do you guys ever notice when you get those in the mail, you get 4 versions of it, and they're all the same? That's because they used to have to tear them apart on the perforations and send it all in. But you don't have to do that anymore. You are. All right, and then the next form is the 1099. This is a form you receive instead of a W-2. A lot of times it's not instead of. I get my W-2s from Penna, because that's my employer, but I also get a 1099 because of my bank accounts. Okay, so it's income made from interest on bank accounts. If you have stocks, you have to kind of report all of that money too, royalties, and providing a service as your own employer, you'd get a 1099. So if you guys have your own business on the side or whatever, but you don't work for someone but your own business, you get a 1099. Okay, I get one every year because of interest on my bank accounts. So it's just more, this is another way to show money that you're receiving that's not from your employer. Understandable? Okay, good. Good. All right, so example 1. Barbara started a new job, wants to verify that her net pay has been computed correctly. Her gross pay per pay period is $269.75. She has the following deductions. FICA tax, which is your, that would be your Social Security in this case, 6.2%. Medicare tax, 1.45%. Federal withholding tax, $47.51. State withholding tax, $16.62. Retirement insurance contribution, $9. And disability insurance fee, $2.56. Medical insurance fee, $12. And dental insurance for $6. Whew. What should her net pay be for the pay period? Wow. That's a lot. So, right, Barbara, you need to who needs dental? All right, so let's figure out poor Barbara. All right, so we're starting with she has a gross pay, right? $269.75. That's not much to start with after all of that came out. See if she's got anything left. All right, so let's do the first one, 6.2%. So what do I do? Good. So we need to multiply that. So $16.72. So that's one deduction, right? Ugh. Okay. And then it says Medicare, 1.45%. So we're going to calculate that one. So the 269.75 times 0.0145. So that one's going to be $3.91. My other deduction. Tis real life, though, guys. Federal withholding tax, they just went ahead and told us that's $47.51. So we have another one of $47.51. And then we have some other taxes in there, right? She's got state of $16.62. Retirement, $12. Dental, $6. Oh, you're right. I totally lost that line, didn't I? Thank you. $9. And insurance, $256. The 12 was medical insurance. I jumped the line, just like the boys did when they were doing their homework last night. Oh, so she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things coming out of that paycheck. So what do I do with all those numbers? Let's add them all up. So total deductions. So how much came out altogether? Total deductions, $114.32. So the question asks, though, what should her net pay be for this period? We got to subtract. So we're going to take her $269.75, subtract the $114.32. So she's bringing home a whopping, there you go, she's going to have insurance. She's going to have dental. She's got retirement. See? She's going to cry herself to sleep, but you know. Picture her grocery budget right now. Tell me what her food budget is. What's 155.43? What's the percent for food? 15%. What's 15% of that? $23? She's got $23 for the week to eat. For the whole week. I'm thinking she should buy some pasta. It's cheap. Some eggs, maybe? It's cheap protein. It's only $1. You do what you got to do sometimes, right? All right. So the second part of this. All right, guys. I told you for homework you had that one question about percentage. Here it is again. What percentage of Barbara's gross pay for this pay period accounts for all of her deductions? Round to the nearest tenth of a percent. All right, so guys, so we're asking for a percentage. So when you see percentage, I want you to be thinking part over whole. Okay, that's what you're thinking of, part over whole, when it wants a percent. So what's it want a part of? Forget the number for a second. What are we talking about? Gross pay, is that part or is that whole? Whole. The gross is going to be on the bottom because it said gross pay. That's a whole thing, gross pay. And then what's it asking for? It wants deductions is the part it's asking about. So what were her deductions? Her deductions were $114.32. Her gross pay was $269.75. So anytime it's asking for a percent, your brain should go part over whole. Okay, what things does it list that could be the part and which one's the whole? Okay, that's what it's asking for. So what percent were her deductions? Oh, 42.4%. So somebody said it's almost half. It's close. 42.4% of her check was gone in deductions. Welcome to adulthood, guys. Adulting sucks. Whew. All right, so this example is the last one I want to get through today. Okay? It's got a lot of pieces to it. So first and foremost, you guys, your tax booklet, go ahead and pull that out for me. That big old tax booklet I gave you. Yes. Big, giant tax booklet. At the top of your tax booklet, I want you to write Social Security is 6.2%, Medicare is 1.45%. So if I don't ever give you those percentages, that's what I want you to use. You'll get to use your tax booklet on your test. So there it be. So write that on your tax booklet. Social Security is 6.2%. Medicare is 1. Yes. Medicare is 1.45%. Write it on your booklet. That way you have it. So there's no question going, what's the percentage? It's on your book. All right, so Leslie works for blank corporation. His annual salary is $57,285.50. So part A, what is Leslie's annual Social Security deduction? How do I find it? Good. So we're going to take the $57,285.50, and we just have to multiply by 6.2%. Easy enough, right? You want to try to read that number one more time? There we go. 355.70. Yeah, you lost a digit. All right, so that's easy. Part B, what is Leslie's annual Medicare deduction? Same things times, yeah. 57,285.50 times 0.0145. So $830.64. So far, so good? All right. Part C, Leslie is paid every other week. So what is his biweekly gross pay? Biweekly is how many? That's 26. So it wants biweekly gross. Do we know how much he grossed? Yeah, $57,285.50. And I do what with that? Divide by 26. So $2,203.29. Have we done anything different that we've never done yet? No, this is all in our last chapter. Each pay period, Leslie's employer deducts $418.63 for federal withholding tax. Okay? What percentage of Leslie's yearly salary is deducted for federal withholding? Now, it says percentage. What did I tell you to think of? Part over whole. So, let's talk about what part and what's the whole. What's the whole? I don't want a number. Tell me what in words. What's the whole? Yearly salary. That's the whole thing. So yearly or annual salary. So that's the whole. What's the part? In words, what's the part? Federal tax, federal withholding. I want you guys to start to recognize these words, right? It's talking about yearly salary and federal withholding. Between the two, which one's a whole? The yearly salaries are whole. All right, so federal withholding, we knew is $418.63. Now, wait a minute. That's biweekly. I can't do biweekly versus year. Yeah, it's not a pretty number. So what do I have to do with the 418? I have to multiply by 26. If you're talking about a yearly salary, you need a yearly federal. Your unit's got to match. All right, so multiplying that by 26 gets us $10,884.38. For the year, yes. And then your yearly salary? Okay, so that asks for, they ask for what percentage is that? That's 19%. Doesn't mean it's going to be the best country to live in. All right, are we doing okay here? Good? Okay? This is still part of this example. Guys, I said this example is the last one. It goes all the way up through part H. Hang with me, and we'll get through part H, and then we'll be done for today. Okay? Mary? It's biweekly. Yeah, because it said it was per pay. Yes. Yep, on part C, they let us know it was biweekly. All right, so part E, if Leslie is taxed at an annual rate of 3.65% for city tax, how much is deducted from his salary per paycheck for city tax? Okay, so city tax is 3.65%. What do I multiply that by? City doesn't tax you on how much federal's taking out. They're going to tax you on how much money you made. So Leslie made, so we can do this two different ways. If you use the annual salary, what would you have to do with that final answer then to take it to biweekly? You'd have to divide it by 26. Or do we know how much Leslie makes per pay? Yeah, we know how much he makes per pay. He makes $2,203.29. Right? This is their biweekly salary. We already found that earlier. So we can take their biweekly and then multiply that by 0.0365. So $80.42. Right? So if you took this, so let me show you, there is another option. So, or I could do their annual salary, $57,285.50. I could take the annual and multiply it. Just want you guys to see that there is more than one way to do this. So 57,285.50. That would get you $2,090.92. That would be for the year, so then you could divide by 26. And it would be $80.42. So one way takes an extra step, but if you didn't already know the biweekly salary, you could still get there. Okay, we found it earlier, so it doesn't matter. So you can go either way. Part F, Leslie's net pay for each pay period is $1,347.34. What percent of his biweekly gross pay is deducted from his salary to yield this net pay amount? So again, it says what percent. What am I thinking? Part over whole. So let's talk. What's the part? What's the whole? So what percent of his biweekly gross pay is deducted from his salary to yield this net pay amount? So which part's the whole? I don't want a number. What in words? The biweekly. Guys, the word of typically means the bottom of your fraction. So of his biweekly gross pay. So on the bottom is the biweekly gross. Okay. And then the other part, what percent of his biweekly gross pay is typically your top of the fraction. Is deducted. So what goes on the top? It would be your deductions. Yeah. Okay, so guys, when you're looking at the question, when it's asking about percent, if it says of whatever's after the word of is the whole. It goes on the bottom. Whatever's after the word is, that's the top. That's the part. Okay? Just trying to kind of help you pull those pieces out. Sometimes it's hard to know what it wants. So do we know the biweekly gross? Yes, his biweekly gross was this amount right here. Was the 2203.29. Do we know how much is taken out per paycheck? Just subtract the two. Good, Brett. I know the net pay. The net pay, right, is right here. That's your net. So 2203.29 minus 1347.34. I can figure out what the deductions are. I can see the difference between net and gross. So the difference between net and gross, $855.95. So that's how that number got used in there. The difference between net and gross is how much your deductions were. Okay, so deductions is the top. The whole is your biweekly gross. So what percent is taken out every week? 39%. So you just found what percentage of your paycheck every week, or every 2 weeks in this case, right, is actually taken out. 39% is gone. It wasn't as bad as that one example. It was in the 40s, right? Part G, as of January 1st, Leslie will receive a 12.5% raise. Holy crap, that's an amazing raise. What will Leslie's new annual salary be? Yes. Okay, so we know Leslie makes how much now? Well, we're talking, it wants annual salary, so I should probably deal with annual. Make it easy. So annual salary, we're getting a 12.5% raise, so we can multiply this by 12.5%, so 0.125. So Leslie's going to get a raise of $7,160.69. So the question, though, asks, what will Leslie's new annual salary be? I got to add that on. So we're just going to add that right here. I did. That's why I had to grab my calculator, because my work shows it just being multiplied by 1 point. So when we add that back on, $64,446.19. That's pretty nice. All right. Now, guys, real quick, I do want to kind of draw attention to what Luke said. Luke goes, why didn't we just multiply by 1.125? Do you remember we talked about that early on? And that's what I did. That's why I had to grab my calculator to calculate this number. I took the 57,285.50 and I multiplied by 1.125, and that automatically just gives me the answer. Yeah, that's the way I always do it. When you multiply by 1 point, whatever percent you want, it automatically just takes what you had and kind of just adds it on automatically. So I'm lazy, mathematician. I do things in as few steps as possible. So that's why I do that. But if that confuses you, do it the other way. Totally fine. All right, last part, guys. If the percentage of his biweekly deductions remains the same, what was the percentage? What percent is deducted from the amount? 39%. So this percentage was 39%. We had already found that earlier. If that remains the same, what should Leslie's new net pay be for each pay period? So the 64,000 number is annual salary. Let's divide it by 26. 64,446.19. If we divide by 26, that'll change to how much the gross is per pay. So $2,478.70. So it was 0.699. And then let's multiply that by 0.39%. So 2478.70 times 39%. Now wait a minute. 966.69, that's all Leslie gets to bring home? What is that? Good. Those are the deductions. So that's going to be subtracted from here. So Leslie will bring home $1,512.01. It adds up. You get 100 of those, you got the dollar. You can go to McDonald's. To go, not to eat in them. That's right. Really? You pay it on everything, no matter what, in Michigan, don't you? Fair point.